and welcome to the Wisdom Tree. I'm your host, Vanessa Ray. Our parents, teachers, aunts, uncles, and even our next-door neighbors have all helped to pave the way to our own success. And while they rarely ask anything from us in return, do we always show them our full respect? Well, on today's show, I'm joined by a group of young people who are here to explore the issue of respect for elders. But before we begin our conversation, let's start with this dramatic sketch.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Like, how long have they been together? 3 months? Yeah. Yeah, what about tonight? Does that sound good to you?
Jennifer, can you hang up the phone? I need to talk to you.
What time do you want to do that?
Jennifer!
Okay, yeah, that'll be good.
Jennifer, hang up the phone!
What?
I need to talk to you now. Hang up.
Mom, have you seen my black shoes?
What, the ones with the 5-inch heels? The ones that I put away till you're 18 years old? Now get off the phone so I can talk to you.
My God, it's like I'm leaving the jail here. Alright, we'll have to go. I'll talk to you later, alright? Bye. What?
You need to lose that attitude, young lady.
You better give me my shoes back.
I better? Who do you think you're talking to?
You have no right to touch my things!
No right? Until you go out and get a job and earn the money to buy those shoes, those are not your shoes.
Yeah, whatever.
Look, all I need for you to do is watch your sister for an hour. That's all I'm asking. I'll be home, but I have to go upstairs and get some work done.
No.
I was not asking you. I am telling you.
Well, I have plans and I'm not going to watch her.
Who are you? Why are you acting this way?
Acting what way? What way am I acting?
Listen, Jennifer, I really don't want to fight with you. I just need you to watch your sister for an hour. And then you can go outside and play with your friends for the whole rest of the day.
Play with my friends? What am I, a little child? God damn it!
Watch your mouth.
No, I can say whatever I want. You can't stop me.
I can't.
No, you can't.
Give me that. Give me that. You open your mouth to me one more time like that and you will never see this again. Perhaps if you learn to speak to me with respect,
Mom!
you may ever see this again.
You can't do that!
Oh,
That's not fair! You can't take my phone away!
I just did.
I hate it! I hate it!
Jennifer, come back here! Jennifer!
It's clear that in the skit, Jennifer was extremely rude to her mother. Is this a one-sided problem, though?
I really don't think it's a one-sided problem. I mean, yeah, Jennifer was rude, but then again, her mom was nagging on her when she was on the phone. That's not a good time to talk to somebody. She should have waited till she was done, or she could have maybe wrote her like a note on a piece of paper saying, "I need to talk to you," or something. And she wasn't really being fair when she didn't, when she took away her phone and stuff, because I mean, we all make mistakes, but just because, you know, we make a mistake, maybe you should talk about it instead of just trying to penalize all the time.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of issues between the two of them. What do you think some of these issues are? And let's start with the mom.
Well, the mother has a thing with the material object. She is trying to use the material objects to get her daughter to do things.
So she's focusing, for instance, on the phone or the shoes, rather than kind of the underlying problem.
Yeah, she's trying to take those away and use them as kind of like
collateral.
Yes.
What do you think?
It's like a cover-up for how she really feels. Like, oh, like, you know, just because her daughter's feeling bad, she doesn't want to talk about it. She's trying to avoid those feelings, so she just would rather talk about something material. When really, I mean, the situation's not material at all. It's all internal, and it's all their relationship, and she's just not facing it the way she should.
What do you think, Brianna?
I think that the mom is using the shoes as some sort of bribery, and that she can also make more of an effort to talk to her daughter instead of using material things, and then just connect with her instead of them fighting constantly back and forth.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Jennifer's behavior. What do you think some of her issues are?
Well, clearly she's got a bit of an attitude going. It's not okay to talk to her mother like that. Really rude. Which shouldn't just taking the phone. Hold on a minute. What do you need? I'm on the phone. Can it wait, or do you need now? Something like that. She's very disrespectful. Is not at all appropriate.
Do you feel like Jennifer is acting this way because she feels cut off from the rest of her family?
Yeah, maybe. And maybe when she was on the phone, maybe she was talking about her family and the way how she has trouble getting along with them. And, you know, maybe that was almost like her support there, and her mom just cut it away from her. I mean, yes, it was still wrong for her to talk like that, but it seems like the mom was also being very forceful in ways that weren't really necessary.
So maybe because that's something that she's already sensitive about, the fact that her mom then took that away made her even more angry.
I feel lost and disconnected from all of her friends and people that she actually does talk to. But maybe this could even give them the opportunity to talk to each other.
Were you going to say something?
She feels like the outcast of the group. She doesn't get along with much of anyone there in her family, and she just feels like the phone is her window of communication with everyone else, and by the mother taking away the phone, the window is now blocked off, and she can't communicate, voice herself.
So she feels kind of isolated.
Yeah, she feels like she can't project her feelings.
But do you feel like maybe she overreacted a little bit because when the phone was taken away, she kind of acted like it was the end of the world?
Definitely an overreaction. I mean, it's normal for teenagers to overreact somewhat. And in the case of a phone being taken away, a lot of teenagers are very attached to their phones. So yeah, you're going to be upset, but definitely an overreaction.
Well, in another way, though, it could be a realistic reaction. I mean, if she's really having that bad home problems, maybe her talking to her best friend, or if she has a boyfriend, or just her group of friends in general, that could be like her entire support. And if things are at home are that bad, she should at least be able to talk to somebody.
Okay. Do you think it's important in this case and generally for parents to kind of like lay down the law and set guidelines for their children?
Absolutely. You need rules of some sort. Whether or not the rules are fair is a totally different story, and if the child decides that the rules aren't, then they need to discuss it with their parents rather than just deciding I'm not going to listen to them. But you need rules of some sort, or you're going to go out and do something that you'll regret later.
Okay.
I agree, but I wouldn't like too many rules because then she won't feel free and she won't have her own rights, and that might jeopardize the relationship even more.
So it has to be maybe like a compromise and a balance, because sometimes when there are too many rules, people just totally rebel against it and act out.
Yeah.
Well, our conversation and our family drama have just begun. More of both right when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. So when we left our drama, Jennifer and her mother had just ended a bitter argument. But it's clear that their issues are anything but resolved. Let's see what happens next.
No, I mean, she's not being terrible. She's just being so difficult and, you know, in a quiet kind of way sometimes. You should see, like, all the makeup they wear. No, it's not like that. No, she did well in school. She really did. I mean, oh, God, what am I going to do with that? You know what, this has got to stop. This has got to stop. I'm, like, swamped with bills. And they always say, oh, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. And then I get another bill with more finance charges. I'm like, I'm just so frustrated. And it just keeps adding up. And you should see, it's like a 3-page bill here. 3 sides of a page, full. Mom, can you stop? Stop. It's just, I mean, have you ever done something like that? I was thinking about it, but it just seems it's just adding up, and I just don't know how to get off of this. You know, we keep working harder and harder, and there's like less and less. It's just like slipping through my fingers here. I just don't know what to do. Oh, God. I gotta get myself organized is what I have to do. I gotta get all of this organized. Ma,
I have to tell you.
Not now, okay? I'm really, not now. Oh, you know what, sweetie, I gotta go. I just have too much. I'm just a little discombobulated here. Alrighty, love you, bye-bye. Simone, did you get to the doctor like I told you? I hear you coughing every night. I hear you up all night. And the way you don't take care of yourself has just gotten so stupid. You know, you go outside without a jacket, without a coat, I mean, no matter what the temperature is, without an umbrella.
Grandma's not here, Mom.
And what are you doing here?
Why are you talking to Grandma like that?
You know, I know how to talk to Grandma. I don't need you coming in here and telling me how to talk to my own mother. I've been talking to her my whole life.
You don't know anything. You have no right to talk to her like that.
What do you have in your hands there? What, Jennifer, what is that?
There seems to be a real communication breakdown with this family. What do you think's at the root of the problem, and is the mother trying to push everyone away on purpose?
I don't think she's pushing everyone away on purpose. I think she just feels overwhelmed, and she should come up with a better way to deal with that problem.
Okay, so she's not dealing with her stress very well.
No.
What does everyone else think?
Well, I think that, you know, maybe something outside of her home is bothering her, and she's just taking it out on her family, and that's only making her situation at home worse, which is only going to make her even more stressed out. She needs to take a step back from the problem, and she needs to just look at it again, see what's bothering her, and confront everything step by step, because she can't just keep on yelling at people and pushing people away. It's just going to make things worse.
Chris, what do you think is the underlying problem here?
I think the underlying problem is she's gotten herself so devoted to her work that she no longer really understands that she's moving away from her family. I don't think she realizes she's pushing. She didn't realize she's moving away, and that she needs to just get back to her original priorities rather than the work. I think she's stressed because of the bills and how to pay them and how to care for the family that she's forgetting what exactly she's caring for.
Right.
She's mixed up her places. Like, her family used to be first, and now that she's so overwhelmed by all her work takes up most of her time, and now it's work first, family second.
Right.
So she's putting too much effort and time into the work.
It's almost like, too, because she's so stressed out about it, she's made it into this more important thing than it needs to be, too. How do you think that she can start resolving some of these problems?
I think what she can do, she can manage her time better and take time and actually make an appointment for the family to sit down and have a talk about what happened so that they can make the relationship stronger and not worry about work as much as she does, and instead worry about her family.
I think they just need to open up their ears and listen. She just has to listen to her family. Because, I mean, it's almost like the daughter is crying for help, like crying out for attention. And she's just not giving that attention to her. She's too caught up.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that I agree with what they both said, and a place where they could talk about everything and where everyone would be available is having dinner together, because then you're in a relaxed environment and you're all just talking about your day, and it can really get some good emotions and feelings out.
I really agree with what Michael said. I mean, yeah, she's crying out for attention, and then the mom is not giving anyone the attention that they really need. She's not realizing their problems either. And if she were to understand their problems, then they would be more reciprocative and understand her problems as well. I mean, if no one takes time to put themselves in the other person's shoes, then you're just going to end up in a huge, messy fight.
So she's totally wrapped up. She's so wrapped up in her own problems, the mother, that she can't see that she could help be part of the solution.
Yeah, I mean, maybe her daughter's acting out because of something that's going on at school. Maybe she's being bullied or being put under peer pressure, or maybe she's not getting good grades. And maybe the mom doesn't know that, and maybe she needs to just take a step aside from her own problems and focus on her daughter for a little bit. And maybe the daughter should do the same for the mother.
Do you think that sometimes when someone gives you a reaction and it's not one that you like, if you talk to them, whether it's a friend or family member, sometimes people personalize it, and they're like, oh, that person was mean to me, but maybe something else is going on in their life. So if you, instead of just reacting right away, if you maybe ask them questions or try to open up the lines of communication, whether it's a family dinner or going on a walk with somebody or talking, then they're less defensive, and you might find out what's really going on in their life.
I mean, I was talking to one of my friends one time, and I called her up and I asked her if she wanted to go to the movies and hang out with me, and she was just like, no, I don't feel like it, and like she wasn't really being very nice, and so I was just like, okay, bye. And she didn't talk to me for about 2 days, and then she called me up and she was crying. She was really upset. She was like, I am so sorry. Look, I feel awful, and I've just been really stressed out because this is the anniversary of my mother's death.
Oh.
So, I mean, for that, I mean, I could definitely forgive her. She was just really under a lot of stress, and I really appreciate her coming to me and letting me know so that way we can both understand each other better.
Right. So it's like sometimes you never know if you put yourself in someone else's shoes, what they might be going through.
Exactly.
Sometimes your own situation blinds you of everyone else.
What do you guys think is the major theme of this sketch so far as respecting your elders? What's the important thing to remember from what we've seen so far?
Respect people and just give them time, because you never know how much more time you have left. It's never set in stone.
Yeah, like
you're going to live for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, like the example with the grandmother in the video. I mean, from the looks of it, it seems like she's ill of some sort. And I mean, the way the mother kept on pushing her away. What if the grandmother was supposed to pass away or be, be so ill that she can't do anything, and then the mother missed out on that opportunity? I mean, I know in my family, my grandfather has Alzheimer's, and I mean, I knew him, like I knew who he was and he knew who I was, but we didn't know each other. We didn't understand each other. We never had a ton of really deep talks before he had Alzheimer's. And now that he has it, I walk into the room and he can't remember me, and I could never remember. I can't really think of, the man he was, because we never had that relationship, and I really regret that.
So it's important to value the people around you while they're still here.
Yeah.
Well, when we left our play, Jennifer, her mother, and her grandmother were all in the middle of a real crisis. But they're not alone. They all have each other. We'll return to their family right after this break. Welcome back to the Wisdom Tree. Let's return again to our play.
Jen, sweetie, I was thinking, we don't seem to be hanging out too much together anymore. And I was wondering if maybe we could get together and...
What? Are you sure you have the time?
I always have the time for you, Jennifer, always.
Yeah, like you had time for Grandma too, right?
Oh, you're taking that all wrong, sweetie. You know that I
know what, Mom? Do I know as much as you?
Oh, you know what? That's really not fair, Jennifer. I know you're still upset about what happened earlier with Grandma and me, but you know what? It's just hard sometimes. It's just hard.
I don't have the time for this.
I want to tell you something.
Jennifer!
So now that you guys have seen the conclusion of the entire play, what reflections do you have about the general topic of respecting your elders?
Well, respect is like a chain. You can see how the mother doesn't really give respect to the grandmother. So then Jennifer isn't really giving respect to her mom. It's kind of like a karma effect. And when what you give out, you receive. So if they all respect each other, then they'll receive each other and make things go a lot smoother.
So it's sort of getting passed down generation to generation.
Yeah. Some people say that elders get in the way, but in all honesty, they're the ones who help us find our way. They're our history and our legacy. Without them, we're almost non-existent. We're nothing without our elders.
Yeah, and I mean, we can learn so much from them because they have been around a lot longer than us. And I remember one time I was talking to my grandma, and she has been through the war, she's been through the Depression, she's been through so many things I couldn't even imagine going through. And it's really interesting when you actually go to get to know what they've been through. I mean, you can really learn a lot.
Anyone can give you a textbook answer. It's like, all right, the Great Depression happened from this date to this date or within this time frame, but you get someone who's been through it and you'll get so much more details. You'll learn so much more from a first-hand account than you ever could get from a textbook or from a 30-year-old history teacher who by no means lived through it.
Yeah, and you're also getting to know, the person as well as learning the information. So it's kind of kill two birds with one stone.
And then you can also learn from their mistakes and make sure you don't make the same ones, and it's a learning process.
Do you have like an personal example?
Example is, once my mom, she told me that she dyed her hair with peroxide, and that's all she said. And she said it turned a different color, and it was just like, haha. So then I thought it was funny, and I wanted to see what color it would turn. So I dyed my hair with peroxide, just poured it all over my head, and my hair turned orange. And when my mom found out, she was like, she said, your hair, you could have gone bald, it could have killed stuff in your hair. And I learned not to do that, but sometimes they have to watch what they say also, but their experiences can help you learn, and then my experience can help teach my future children what not to do.
So they can lead by example.
Yeah.
Do you have...
Parents have to realize that they should lay out their experiences in a way that's going to help us learn from them and not repeat them, kind of like what would happen with her, because her mom was like, oh, it was so, it was funny, I turned my hair a different color. And I mean, a little kid's going to be like, wow, a different color, I want, color is that's just a little kid thing to do. So parents should kind of show you that just because they did something, they're capable of mistakes too, and that that their children shouldn't do it, and you should also try to show them the good examples that they've done.
Another cool thing about respecting your elders, like we were talking about learning about history, but you can also learn about your personal history. Like I know with my own grandmother, it was really cool for me to learn that she had been an opera singer, because I enjoy, singing from time to time. And it was cool to see some of the talents or things, my gifts that I'm good at or have been lucky enough to have came from other people in my family. So it's another cool thing when you do respect your family members and get to know them, you learn things about yourself too, which is kind of neat.
Well, yeah, it's your heritage. I mean, genetically you're connected, and they might know something about you, or they might have a trait that you also resemble.
Okay. The other thing about respecting your elders and vice versa is it's a two-way street. And it can come back to you too. So when you respect your elders, hopefully then your people below you respect you because they see that as an example. Do any of you have kind of stories or something that talk to that experience?
Well, I have one. I mean, there was a father, a kid, and a father's father. So yeah, the father was sick of his own father, being sick and taking care of him. So then he decided to buy a separate house, like a cheap separate house, and he decided to make him stay there. And then he would visit him once a week and bring some food. And then one day when he went, and when he was when he was returning from his house, and while he was driving back home, his own son asked him, and he's like, "Dad, why are you doing this to my grandpa?" And he was like, well, it's kind of hard to take care of him after some time. And he was like, well, do I have to do the same thing to you? And then he just froze over there, and he decided to take his father back to his own house.
Right. So it's important kind of to realize the sacrifices that your elders made for you, and to respect people who are above you and below you, because that way people will respect you and you'll respect them no matter what age you are. Well, they say that children are our future, but when you really think about it, the same is true for our elders. Elders teach us the meaning of wisdom and courage, sacrifice and compassion. And how we choose to return the favor determines what kind of people we become. Thank you for joining us on the Wisdom Tree. We hope to see you again next time. And in the meantime, please take care.